okay, where you can take us to a different perspective, and a lot of people are watching you, and maybe that's actually what they wanted to hear this evening, to say, yes, there is hope. Thank you for doing that for us, okay?
All right.
I am going to go to the next person, and you can continue watching with us. Here we go. Sir Tayo Kalejaye, sir. It's going to be your turn, if that's okay, please.
All right. Respect to you, political, and
Sir.
greetings to you all, my parliamentary members.
Thank you, sir.
I don't have much to say. I'm a highly preservative person, but I always love hitting the nail on head.
Be my guest. I love that.
The truth is very bitter. And when you start for something so cogent, you must surely be enmity to a lot of people. One thing that makes this your program so special and make me to have much interest is you are extremely preserved and always been accurate with your words. There is no need of playing hanky-pranky or hula baloo to ourselves when it comes to the realities. When people were placed in the position to do something and they kept on failing, purposely, they determined to kept on failing. It wasn't as if the system is not able to work or is not workable. Things they make as a big deal over there is nothing down here. We've been here, we've been part of the system, we knew how things work. I don't know the excuses the leadership are making. If people are not ready to do something, is either you move away and let another person give it a try, then let's see if it is workable or not. I read something on the news early today about the affirmation of Pastor Adeboye, and that could take me in recurrences to what Wole Soyinka said or did when he was invited to Arise News some times back too. I think this is getting to the right period of time that all these old men have to be actuals with what they are saying or what they really stand for. I know a lot of our youth brain has been manipulated because most of them are illiterate. Illiteracy has nothing to do with your exposure. Illiteracy, what they call in recruitment as an illiteracy, is your lack of knowledge about something. You mustn't go to a school before you can be recruited as illiterate or not non-illiterate. When you know the right thing, you don't do, but you know it's the right thing to do and you are omitting it. You can't recruit that as an illiterate. Then when you go to school, you think you are an educated person, and yet you are still pushing forward and fighting for something, for a wrong cause. I can recruit you as an illiterate because it may not be clearable to you because perspective in which we view and see things is quite different.
That's right.
But the most important thing is, I don't know how people will say the truth and kept on sojourning to be doing the wrong things and making the whole vibrant youth and recreating a nuisance out of the vibrant youth. Most of us get out from that bullshit because Nigeria as a country has almost lost most of their brilliance towards the outside world. Because when you are highly educated and you know what you are doing, and they kept on doing their rubbish things, and you wanted to talk, they are setting up different set of things to make sure they get rid of you or they keep you quiet. So and your spirit couldn't condone the nonsensity they are doing. Is it that you get out? if you can't be part of you have to move out. Because when I was still back home, I was in a mix of friends sometimes back. Like, we are discussing, having a very serious discussion. Then a guy said, I was like, how things is going here, it doesn't curtail, it doesn't make sense. They make everybody to be acting like a mad person. You guys are mad. In fact, if you feel comfortable here, you must be a madman. If you are not a madman, what is switching you on? Because the whole system was depressing. So a guy said, well, if you got there, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. If you can't beat them, join them. I said, this is the madness thing that you guys put yourself. If you can't beat what do you mean you can't beat them? There is always a way to beat them. It's a policy. Life is all about decision. Is either you determine to be poor or you be rich, because it's two-way. It's the way God created life. It's in two phases. It's either you determine to be poor or rich. You determine to be a followership or you wanted to be a leader. It's a matter of act and a very severe decision. If you are not ready,
you can do it. So it's by choice.
It's by choice. If you are not ready, you say you are not ready. When you are ready, when I said this is what I want to do, nobody changes. Even the wife that I married to know me. It may take time. I don't give a fuck. That is, I make my decision. And when I'm talking, you keep quiet. Because I will surely take responsibility for every action that I took as a man. That is what really determines you to be a man. So all this religious madness, lunaticness they are displaying, one old man will just stand on the pulpit and said, he will do it. The person is even indirectly conversing for, is he a Christian? Let's put the religion aside. Does the person even believe in God himself? Because if you believe in God, there's some certain things you don't do.
That's right.
People kept on rolling on the dice of a satanic way. And you because Oshiba Joe is going to the church, or the man's wife is a member or a pastor in his church or whatsoever. So this has nothing to do with religious. This has nothing to do with tribe. Am I not Yoruba? But I don't give a fuck. Just do the right thing. And as much as the fact you don't do, because of all these nonsense things, Sunday Igboho was being chased out of the country. Nnamdi Kanu was being locked in jail. The same panel in the name of whatsoever judges setting up whatsoever things. They knew that the man, so-called president, foretells against their judgments because the man was still being locked in the prison. And they are saying, they'll be calling themselves lawyers. The country is being messed up. But if people talk, they will say you are talking. If you don't talk, they'll be recessing you as a fool. But the fact is that the way God created us is quite different.
It does.
Me, as a person, I stand for justice. I don't give a fuck. But my own is, if I be in the midst of people that I see the ideology is uncurtailing, is abnormal to what I percept, I try to convince positively to offer you a positive things, we can reason together, and you decide not to, I will move out. That is just one thing about me.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
but I always stand by my words.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. I mean, you fed us with that tonight, and then it's going to be on record too. Thank you so much. Just because of our time, I'm going to go to the next person. Thank you very much for kind of creating that time to stop by and do this for us. I appreciate you, sir, Tayo. So let's get on to our next person, which I believe is going to be Okpedo, sir, with Faith. Please, you can unmute, and that will be your shot, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My good, you're a great man. I love you. Yes. My fellow Scottish man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're in Scotland together. Yeah, a quick one. Mine does 3 points anyway. One is to get the Northerners involved. Because since the Northerners youth are not much involved in this movement. Because once they are involved, where enlightened, what campaign to them what is actually going on, they will turn around to follow this movement. Because when the Northerners youth join this force, my brothers, my parliament men, these guys cannot do nothing. They will be scared of everybody. Because they feel that since the youth in the North are not part of this movement 100%, they still feel they still have control of what is going on. That is one. That means the Northern youth need to be well enlightened, to be educated. More things need to be, resources need to get down to the up north to enlighten the youth up there that their leaders there are not giving a shit what is going on with them.
They don't.
They are not there for themselves. You look throughout this, the Federation, the North are staying the lowest point also than the South. But money goes up there, but they don't use it for themselves. They don't use it for the Northerners. So my point was that let the Northern youth get involved. Enlightenment should get across to them. Then my second point is what is going on in the parliament, in the tribunal. Honestly, for it to be more transparent, a live recording viewing should be allowed in that place, so that the world can see what is going on.
Said that, but they are not taking it. I like that. That they should stream it live.
Stream it live, because if they don't do that, we can't know who is who. We can't know who is who, because a lot of shady things go behind the scene. When you see the body language, you know, oh, this guy is for the truth. Because this time now, we need the truth must come out. We cannot be silent any longer at all. We don't care who you are. No matter any award you have gotten before, this time we need the truth to save Nigeria. If there's no truth, then let's just break up. Simple as that. We are suffering. People are suffering. People are suffering. These guys, they don't have, they don't think at all. They don't have any brain. They only does to collect billions upon billions. The other will say that you want to make happy hour every Friday. Can you just, a campaign slogan is for happy hour. Yeah? They can't think. Then my third point is the international community, the Europe, UK, America. I don't know if Obi can enter. You should try to meet the UN people. They should put a law. Any leader from Nigeria, civil servant, transferring money to Europe should be called back immediately. And that person should go to jail at least 20 years. So they know that, because you know, that will not be attractive for them to start stealing public funds any longer.
Make them query to them.
Yes! But that 10 years is too small for him. To me, 30 years. Who like imprisonment for him? Because that guy is wicked. He siphoned a lot of money that he to bring to the University Teaching Hospital in Enugu. He siphoned those money.
And when I heard this story, now another vibe, students brought an idea. They wanted to build a modern, medical center.
Hospital.
And they said that they should, how much is it going to cost? And they told him it was going to cost them about 250 million to build. Them to go and double the money.
Double the money, and you collected it.
And then he took it to Abuja, 500 million. Abuja budget and the rest. And he collected the money. And they never heard about the project again.
So you just imagine lives you are lost. If that thing has been in place, you would have saved lives. Including his own daughter.
Think of the price kidney now, like Gary.
It should be, to me, if I were that judge, life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. So that's the third point, my brothers.
You do well. Thank you so much, Faith. It's been a pleasure having you too. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go to another, I think I've got Saka Sintin before I then go to others, okay? Saka Sintin, Ifekam. I don't know if I pronounce that right. That's you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me too?
Okay. My good Baba, the Grito.
At the hill. From
this is my first time coming live, but I started following you during this election cycle. So it's good to finally speak to you.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Okay. What I want to speak about is the whole situation in Nigeria. So, put it this way: they said, when focus is broken, when a man becomes a wanderer. So the problem in Nigeria is every one of them. I'm sorry to put it this way. I have so many family members there, but the way I'm looking at it is every single person that I feel like even we in the West, right? We in the diaspora, we care more about Nigeria as a country, as an entity, than the people living there. I'm sorry to make it look harsh, but that to me, that's I think what's pissing me off the most, because they all live there. Mm-hmm. I think one of the reasons is because they've not been outside Nigeria, so they don't know the difference. They don't know, how infrastructure, how a place is supposed to be run and all those things. When I first moved to the US in the early 2000s, right, I looked at the situation here and looked at Nigeria. I said the difference between the West and Nigeria is leadership and management. If you can get those two things together, you can fix Nigeria. So you can also take Dubai as an example. 20 years ago, Dubai is not what it is now. But the thing is, they had a leadership. If you go back to even China, 30 years ago, China was a dumpster, right? But because they have consistency in leadership and they have a plan together, manage it properly, they got to where they are today. But in Nigeria, the past 20 years since I've been in America, I don't think they've moved even 1 inch forward, because it's been one bad leader after another, after another, after another. And I think the people are allowing these leaders to do these things. That's why they keep doing it. Because if they don't allow it, it won't be that way. Look at Ukraine today, right? Ukraine at some point was very corrupt. It was like Russia. But the people in Ukraine decided to start dumping their politicians in the dumpster and running after them and beating their politicians on the street. That's the only reason they changed and switched towards proper democracy. That's why Russians got mad and started fighting them, because they don't want their people to see the benefit of democracy and how rapid improvement is going on there. That way the people in Russia will not turn around and start stoning their politicians as well and start throwing them in the dumpster for them to do the right thing, right? So they decide to go into war with them. So it takes me back to the Nigerian problem. I don't think the people living in Nigeria, most of them don't care. And even if you look at this obedient movement, it started with people in diaspora. Because if you remember at some point, right, even this guy that went to jail right now in UK, Jeremiah, whatever his name is, at some point, Nigerians in diaspora was running after the politicians that come to visit and running after them and even beating some of them. Right? So that is the start. That was the original start of the semi-revolution that is happening in Nigeria now, because Nigerians overseas started dealing with the politicians when they come overseas. That's why they decided to change a little bit. And the ones in Nigeria picked up, the young people in Nigeria, after the EndSARS issue, decided to pick it up and continue with the steam. That's why you have the obedient movement. But it started with people from the West first.
They call them the angry Nigerians. They said that they know that they are angry. They are upset with the system. But Obi is like leveraging on that, because, so if you know they are angry, they are upset, why are you calling them fascists? Why are you trying to gaslight them? Why not address their anger? Some things that, some questions that does bother me, to say, they are angry Nigerians. You know why they are angry? Because of bad leadership. Why should you label them to kill them rather than address the cause of that anger? Leadership, you called it.
Yes. So again, it takes me back to why people navigated towards Obi, because they know this guy is focused. He has a vision, and he was willing to talk to the people and made himself, or made people to know that he understood what they are going through, right? So that's why everybody went towards him and decided to stick with him, to use him to get at least to move Nigeria forward. So let's assume, the only way to fix Nigeria, you need 20 solid good years of consistent good leadership for that country to move from where it is today to become one of the other countries in the world that are, look at India today. India is rapidly improving because of Narendra Modi, right? He has been there now for a while. He has vision, and he's channeling the vision to the right things. That's why it looks like India is even at some point right now, in America, right? They're trying to move away from production and all these things from China because of the situation in China, right? And most of these things, they are moving it to India now because they know, okay, they have the cheap labor in India and they can get things done through India without having hostility with India, right? So that's why it looks like in America now, they are moving away from China. They can move to Africa because there's cheap labor in Africa, but because of the bad leadership, they won't move to Africa. And if you come to South and Central America, the same bad leadership, you have the cocaine problem, you have the Mexican cartels and all those things. They can't move their production to these places because of all these things going on. You know what I mean? So they're moving slightly to India. But at the same time, I'm telling you, Nigerian problem, I feel like we in the diaspora, we care more about the problem than the people that actually live there. Until they decide and start stoning the politicians on the streets and start running after them and beating them and even kidnapping their family members and taking them hostage, Nigeria is not going to change. The politicians are not going to change because there's no consequences for their bad behaviors. That's why they keep consistently raping the people of their resources and getting away with it.
There is no punishment for bad behavior. They get rewarded in Nigeria until there is punishment for bad behavior. I love that, Saka Sintin. Thank you so much. Yeah,
my brother, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate your program. I'll continue watching and tell people to continue watching because I feel like this is the only way we in the West or we in the diaspora can vent our anger and frustration towards the country and come together as like minds.
It will be an opportunity for them as well to read the pulse of us in the diaspora too. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Long
bless you. So I am going to go now to Sir Ogbo Godday.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine, my good general.
Yes, sir. You are welcome.
It's been a while, like forever. I don't know. Don't say where I call you. I don't remember when. About 2 years ago.
We are doing it again.
Yeah. Parliamentarians, I greet you all.
Greet you too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kensington took the word, like trying to take it from my mouth, and then honestly, I would start from where I'll start from where he stopped.
Sorry, I'll get that fixed. Somebody is interrupting you. I wanted to mute them, but you can continue. I've taken them out.
Thank you. Yeah, now, sometime ago, like 3-4 years ago, I was with my friends. We just a gist. And I want to say, even if you carry Obama come Nigeria, come president, Obama go fail. And I sat down and I reasoned and said, wow, this is too shallow. Why is that? Because Nigeria no get structure. When politicians talk of structure, they don't talk of structure how to develop the country. They talk of structure of structure of criminality, like Obi will say. So when they talk of structure, they talk of the criminal minds and how they can keep perpetuating themselves in power. But can I shock you?
Shock us.
America is so structured such that even if the president disappears, there's something to take care of that gap.
Yes.
Whatever happens. So the system runs seamlessly. So the point I'm trying to make, anything but Buhari. I spoke with a friend of my friends recently, and they said, Kolu, Obi, and Atiku, whoever wins would be far better than Buhari. And then I sat down and I said, it's possible. But you know what? As I'm saying this now, I just recalled one discussion I had on this WhatsApp chat. I was chatting with some friends, old friends like our alumni. We were chatting in secondary school. So we were chatting, and one of them said, "No worry, you go see what Buhari go do. He go turn Nigeria to El Dorado." That was the last time I visited that group. Because it's like reinforcing failure. After failing massively, first 4 or 3 years, and then you are telling me he will turn Nigeria to El Dorado.
Him up again.
Nigerians. Really? I just disassociated myself from that group. And I won't bother to ask him because it's already 4 years now. I went to ask him, hey, buddy, It's 4 years now. What the El Dorado you claim? Is it now? Is it there now?
Enter there, or we are still on the road. Are we there?
On the road. And one of your themes that you always post, we say, and we know the difference. How do you go to Nigeria? We see the difference. The difference, retrogression.
We actually did a difference. So if we all of us want to confess, so
I agree with you.
Because Nigeria don't remain the same again. No, Nigeria is not the same again.
Yeah? I agree with you, honestly.
Change Nigeria. They did change Nigeria. It's just that they said people didn't ask them when they were shouting change. They didn't ask what kind of change. Or they said, don't worry, you will find out. Now everybody has found out.
You exactly. Now I don't have any personal grudges with Buhari, honestly. I like him as a person, although he tried to honestly, maybe he's honest, I don't know. But it's terrible. However, I've observed also that he wasn't the problem from beginning. From prior to he came in 1983 to solve a problem that sort of he claimed that the corruption in Nigeria. He tried to solve the problem, but he wasn't the problem. The problem Nigeria had and we still have is because there is no structure. The system is not designed to last
and do whatever you want.
Yes, do whatever you want. So even if Obi had won, straight off the ballot, everybody jubilated. There's no way he's not gonna do anything spectacular. For example, as we speak today, the minority is the majority. That's a problem.
And that's a problem.
It's a big problem. How are they going to get out of that minority being the majority in both houses? If all the minority come together, they become the majority. That's not going to, nobody's going to be a good president with that kind of structure. How's he going to pass a bill?
Yeah. Baba.
So Nigeria is going to be in disarray for the next 4 years, and it's not fun.
Everybody's going to just do whatever they want. You're right.
But somebody there with pulling the strings, and the president will say, let's do this. And imagine, Akolu is still there and picking whoever is going to be this and who gets that. And
that. Like you said, these are supposed to be institutions to checkmate one another, right? Exactly. If one arm is choosing the leadership of the other arms, where's the check and balance?
We're just done.
You know what I mean? It's going to be, sorry, go on.
It's done. The last dude, what's his name? I don't want to mention his name. The rubber stamp guy. Who was still approving money still tomorrow. And he's not going to be there in less than 2 to 3
weeks. He'll be gone.
He'll be gone.
Let me go to the next person so that the list is there.
Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thanks, Baba. I appreciate this. And you all made this platform the best. Because you know what, right? This is content creation.
Right.
At best. Where everybody unscripted. Not that you've been tutored or anything. Where you are like confident enough and bold enough to express how you feel about the development in Nigeria. Raw content. So I have to give the thanks to all of you, even though you always kind of say, Mayegun, this and that. But you are the best. Baba, let me go to the next person. Until the next time. Thank you. So let's go to Citizen Oluwatoyin. Finally, thanks so much for your patience, okay? I haven't really shared the other slot with other parliamentarians who have joined us, but I think we should do that. I have one parliamentarian that hasn't been able to stay, and that's Paul. Somehow maybe his network, he just never stayed. It keeps dropping and dropping. So I'll stick with all of us here. So after Citizen Oluwatosin, I'm going to go to Unwachuku Ebere. Brother, I will come to you, sir. Then I'm going to go to Osazele. I hope I pronounce that right. So then I'm going to go to Kenneth. Lawrence. Sir Lawrence. That will be you, Ken. Hanging there as usual. Then I'm going to go to Our Lady. Mama is back. Layo Ajayi. We were still talking about you. The last time you came here, you left an indelible mark. A lot of us remembered you. Guess what? A lot of them are going to be looking forward to what you have for us tonight. Okay, ma? So, and then, Osita, you have broken the brother code. You don't break code. You don't bring your face out. Finally, there is going to be a face behind that voice. It's going to be an interesting night, okay? So, because I've discovered that Our Lady is with us, Immediately after Citizen Oluwatosin, she would take your slot a bit, but not your slot per se, just a bit of a shift. We kind of have that tradition here, right? We let the ladies, we don't keep the ladies waiting. Sure you get. So we want them to be here, and then they can continue with other things. So, Citizen AY, sir, I am coming to you. It's usually 5 minutes, okay? And whatever you can do within that time, you can be our guest. Baba, so over to you. Hang on. Somehow, it seems something is wrong with that microphone. You are speaking, right? You're talking, but we can't hear you. Or is it just me? Check it. You're muted. It could be the headset. Yeah, it could be the microphone from the headset. You can hear me, but it doesn't seem we can hear you.
How is it now?
Oh, it's better now. Great.
Okay. Thank you very much,
You're so welcome.
General.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. Thanks for the platform. Thanks for the platform, because what I'm going to talk about now, we will have had to pay a lot of money to get the same platform. I'm Citizen Oluwatosin. I'm a Nigerian. I'm based in UAE, Dubai. And talking about everything that is happening in Nigeria, I don't know if any Nigerian outside Nigeria is being impacted by what is happening in Nigeria, as in the incompetency of the Nigerian government. I don't know if any other person is being affected like Nigerians that are living in Dubai. For almost 2 years now, we have been without work permit and visa. And a lot of people have lost their job. A lot of people have lost their family. A lot of people have lost their loved ones. And a lot of things is happening to us. We just hope that the next administration that is coming, whoever that person will be. In our own case, I've seen our fellow parliamentarian talking tonight and said, this person will enter, that person will enter. In our own case, we don't mind who will become the president now. We just need someone to replace the dummy we have there now. Because the people we have there now, they have shown that they are not in any way capable of leading even a local government. We have continually been in this country now suffering, and our government have turned their back on us. And each other time they have the opportunity to appear on TV and they are asked about the issue between the Nigerian government and the Dubai government, they lay all the blames on we Nigerians that are suffering, that are living in this country without jobs for almost 2 years now. They will fail to talk about their own part of the bargain, what it is their own doings, things they should have done and they are not doing. Will you believe that since the existence of Nigeria and UAE, Dubai, that Nigerians have been coming to this country to work, there is no existing memorandum of understanding between these two countries? The last time the Minister of Foreign Affairs was on Channels TV last week, he was saying the memorandum, they could not sign it because it is not in their interest. So we are asking, in case they are watching now, or somebody that knows them is watching, we are asking, in whose interest? In the interest of the Minister of Aviation and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, or in the interest of Nigerians that are living, working in UAE? Because these two guys, they also banned Emirates Airline for more than 1 year. Emirates Airline could not fly to Nigeria. Only these two guys banned Emirates Airline because they said the rules of Emirates Airline was not in their interest. But mind you, Nigerians that were flying from Nigeria to Dubai did not complain about Emirates Airlines rules and regulations during the COVID. But only these two ministers were complaining and they banned Emirates Airline. So we are asking that this memorandum that is stopping us from going to work.
Yeah, citizens, I am kind of aware of what the people are in Dubai have been facing for the past 2 years. But what we couldn't understand was that you know, why is it so difficult, especially seeing what it seemed to be the relationship between the Buhari and the, you know, the UAE ruling class. Yeah. Now, what could have been that thing in between the UAE and Nigeria that Nigeria couldn't resolve, or they couldn't do between themselves, that they have to subject many of you, because it's so horrible that the stories are really bad. I did a program on it a while back, but you just pointed out right now that two individuals whose job is to protect your interests as Nigerians who are there, or at least expectedly. But this past 2 years, it has been a blame game between them, and it's all about Emirates. So they punished Emirates, and the UAE government, in defense of Emirates, are now firing you, the Nigerians. Do I get that right?
Not really. They punished Emirates, stopping Emirates Airlines from flying for a whole year. Right. What the government here want to do is they want to put things in its place. Right. The Nigerian government were able to ban Emirates Airlines for a whole year because there is no standing memorandum of understanding between these two countries. During pandemic, it is not only Nigeria that block Emirates Airlines. Other African countries also block Emirates Airlines, but the ban could not last more than 2 weeks because they have an existing memorandum of understanding. But because Nigeria do not have such with them, we were able to ban them for a whole year. How will you stop people's business in your country? And you expect that your citizen in their country will be working and have a nice day? When Emirates Airlines persuaded them for so long for June 2021, and they still remain adamant to leave the ban on Emirates Airlines, within 3 days, UAE stopped Nigerian work permits. Within 3 days.
So this
Yoruba will say,
yeah, you are facing all of this as a form of a retaliation against the decision of Nigerian. Man, this is sad. In fact, it actually makes it more sadder now that I actually know the whole story. Because initially I thought, you know, we're receiving this the report of Nigerians who are like attacking themselves as cultists and all of that, committing this or that. But I did tell people then that there are, if not tens of thousands, so there are thousands of Nigerians who are legitimately, like I am living in the UK right now with my family. There are Nigerians who are legitimately working for different businesses, institutions and all that in UAE. So what could have gone wrong? Now, this is actually the story. Yeah, go on.
I'm very sorry. That is the story the Nigerian government usually push out in the media so as to make us, Nigerians that are here, look bad to the people. That it is because of our activity. It is because of cultism, because of fighting and prostitution that all these bans are there. But I said it is a lie. The UAE, all the cities in this country since 2017, UAE has continually been the best country to live in, the best country to do business in, the best country to raid kids in, the best country for ladies to work at night. They are very good. They are perfect in their security architecture here. They know how to handle everybody and put them in their place. So if it were to be the case of cultism and people fighting, they know how to handle all this. All the people that go out to fight or carry cutlass, within a week, all of them are usually arrested and sent back to Nigeria. So this is not the case. This is usually the story the Nigerian state is pushing so as to make people look bad and thereby forfeiting their own responsibility to doing their own responsibility.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I wish I'm actually having a full program with you where you can really go deeper and even go into options of resolving this and getting help. But this is the People's Parliament where we actually allocate time. Thank you so much for sharing that. I may give this a follow-up.
Thank you for giving us the platform.
Bless you. And my regards to everybody in UAE. So our Lady Layo Ajayi. So we are giving you that slot, ma, to take the next 5 minutes. And then
Hi,
you can
how are you?
Ma. How are you, ma?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
You're breaking up. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, ma, but I think it's the network that is acting up, okay? So if you hear this,
ma, you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, loud and clear. You can continue. Me, I will handle the tech behind here.
I'm very dull looking.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I can see that my screen is the darkest. Obviously, I don't do Zooms regularly. Hi, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to be here. Mayegun, we appreciate you as usual.
Thanks, ma'am.
So today we're talking about, do we believe anything can happen in the courts? Can there be a difference? And I want to go first of all back to saying something. You know that there are 3 types of people in the world. 3 types of people.
Yes, ma'am.
This is from the Greek philosophy. 1, idiots. These are self-centered people who only care about themselves. They only care about themselves. They don't care about any other person. Number 2, they are the tribalists. These are the people that are only concerned about their own group of people. So it can either be by religion, by tribe, by other preferences. And then 3, they are the citizens. These are the people that care about others. Now, it is known in the world we don't have up to 10% of citizens in a country. But in Nigeria, I cannot boast we have up to 2 to 3%. Let's not forget that the people in the government, they came out of us.
They did.
So when we keep on complaining about the government, these people that are bad are inside us. And we have a lot of us that are citizens, that are Nigerians, that if we were given the opportunity to be there, yeah, we probably would do as bad.
As this one.
We really are in a mess, like I said the last time. We are in a mess. You have seen what has happened in the last 1 week. How, you know, we've heard a lot of things. Basically, on your own program, I've heard a lot, and the airs are turning. I want to be optimistic that the courts will do the right things. Let me tell you why I'm optimistic about it. In the dynamics of the Nigerian politics, we have never had these dynamics before. A bunch of millions of people that are faceless. We don't know where they are, but they are shaking and they are movers of shakers. We don't know where they are. We just know that when somebody says something, before he says it, they brought out information about the person keeps quiet.
That's right.
No, not you, Mayegun, because I know you know a lot and I respect what you know. But you cannot give us a spool that, okay, in a situation where we've had PDP, APC, and other smaller parties, and this is what is going to happen. We can't predict what is going to happen this time around.
Not at this point. Not at this point.
And we also know that even though Peter Obi, they said he came 3rd, he's the one that seems to be shaking everybody.
That's right.
He's the one that seems to be shaking people. The obedience are shaking people. I can't say what is going to happen. But I believe that even look at this man, Mr. Apapa, or what do you call his name? He not perform now. He couldn't do what he was told to do. Why? He wasn't even at the Labour May 1 event. We not see him. I thought he had strength. It's dead. So no matter what they are doing, I believe.
Oh, I think, you know, our lady, Mama is joining us from Nigeria. So the network is playing kind of a game on us there. I'm glad that she could even last that long before this interruption. You see, it's rolling. That particular place that is rolling, that is Mama Layo there. However, I'm going to go to Ebere just to manage our time, okay, as promised. While if Mama comes back, I will bring her on to complete our presentation. Ebere, sir, thank you so much for your patience, okay? So you can unmute, and that's you. How are you, sir?
Okay, Mayegun, good evening, everyone. Good evening, the panelists.
Good evening to you.
Special greeting to you, Mayegun. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm very much happy this evening to join this program because it has been long. I've been following you, but just that I try to join the program sometimes, but sometimes I don't know hardly to join. But I'm grateful today to join. I know the time I started following you during when you broadcast inside your kitchen. I can remember.
I know people. You know when I know you, no matter what you be today, I don't know you from that kitchen. I love hearing that.
Because we are the people at the we are like the people at the we are the back. We are the back leading following you, telling you go on, we are with you. Please, I would like everybody to join us this evening. We lost somebody. We lost one of us today.
Oh.
The problem is the problem in Nigeria. From Nigeria, follow us down here in Italy. This person we lost today. I just want to deviate a little.
No, you are free. I mean, that's kind of. I wasn't expecting that. I'm so sorry about your loss. Okay, and
it's a graduate. It's a graduate, Nigeria, a graduate from Nigeria. But because of the problem in Nigeria, he think let him go, like to go and look for a way for surviving.
Opportunity.
He came down from Nigeria, down to Libya, cross the sea, now in Europe. But the sad part of it is that when he arrived in Libya, he got a sickness, like a kind of sickness, like they call it tumor. When you see his stomach through the picture, you ask whether is it a man or woman, like a pregnant someone. He arrived in Italy from DC. We tried our best. He went to operation, but he couldn't make it. Since last year, he had been going through this treatment in the hospital, but the information will go today that it didn't work.
It didn't make it.
We now saw it that the Nigerian problem costs everything. A graduate. Mayegu, a graduate, when he speak English, you understand the level of this guy. If Nigeria is a good country, very, very sad. Mayegu, really, from your program, you have been speaking everything concerning Nigeria. Everything concerning Nigeria, you have been speaking it, you have been telling people, like passing it like a message, like Imagine Andekalo. But the indigenes of Nigeria fail not to understand what is going on, and they cannot understand, and they will not agree. Do you know why?
Tell us.
They choose to feed themselves through bribery. The side they choose is the side of corner. Let us, like a way to do. There is a way to do it, and that a way to do it kept them the way they are today, and there will be no way. There will be no way to redeem this. It's not possible. I can only pass this message this evening through your channel, the opportunity you gave to me.
God bless you, Baba.
I tell you, and I tell the panelists and tell the Nigerians, Nigeria can never be good. My father told me this. I'm heading to 40 years now. And when I remember the word my father told me at the age of 15 years, he said, my son, if you don't want to go to school, go and learn work. That you can only survive in Nigeria when you work hard on your own. Nigeria will not offer you anything. And when I remember that word, since 15 years ago, And when I'm in age of 15 years, when I look at my age today, and you see that word
is
like it's a baptism. Like it's a baptism every year. Like it's a baptism. You baptize it, you saw it, it's real, you continue moving. And today is worse than then.
Even what your father saw when you were a 15-year-old boy, compared to what it is today, is even worse. What are you going to tell your son?
Now, I want to use the opportunity to pass message to particularly the Imo State people. All of us know what Imo State have been passing through for years. Now, the question we ask ourselves, how are we going to solve the problem in Imo State? Mayegu, I want to pass this message for people to know. It's a record. Let them put it in record. And remember this always. When you present somebody like Rochas Okorocha, let me just give an example of recent, very close, because his tenure just finished how many years? About 3 or 2 years and a half ago. If you present Rochas Okorocha, you present to Opuzodema, someone will tell you, I beg, we love Rochas Okorocha upon his evil. We love him than Opuzodema. But I want to tell the Nigerians and Imo State people today, the one we are going to see now will be the worst. Do you know who they want to give us in Imo State again? And a retired military. A retired soldier. And you ask yourself, what a retired soldier can offer us in Imo State? We are going from hell to hellfire.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why? They are looking at opportunity, a kind of a strength that will push Hope Uzodinma from that seat because of all the evil. Because his hand have stained a lot of blood. His hand like soaked inside. He washed hand with the blood of his citizen. So they are finding a way, a strength that will push this Hope Uzodinma aside. They are now finding a solution from the Labour Party, a retired soldier. A retired soldier that have never solved any problem in Nigeria. The person they gave us that live in Nigeria very soon is a retired soldier, Buhari. A retired soldier will now come and they campaign to you and give you all the promises. You ask him, when you was a soldier in Nigeria, what did you do? Nothing. Completely nothing. And they want to tell you he wants to come and be a governor in Imo State. That means all of us will now go into a military regime.
Wearing civilian clothes. See,
Mayegu, I'm happy to be in this. And let me thank you in a special way. Please, continue what you are doing. I remember the time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we should follow Mayegu. Mayegu is a kind of person, when he see the truth, he tell you how it is.
That's right.
If we have you like a politician in Nigeria, I know maybe that blood that corrupts people may not corrupt you. I know it may not corrupt you. But I've been following you a long time. You are a kind of man. Nobody can bribe you. I saw it. Not only spiritually, physically. I saw it.
Thank you.
And I want Nigerian people that always listen to you, they should bear something in mind. To get money, to be rich, to answer big name is not the issue. The issue is that we take example like somebody like Mayegu. If we are somebody, a kind of person that can bribe, they could have bribed you for a long time ago. But you continue being consistently like whom you are is what you are. There will be no way. I don't want to continue telling you a lot of things, but I thank you. I'm happy to join in this program this evening. And I hope that if you can even give me a chance a day to have some, you know, with you.
See, there will be nothing I would love more than that. And that can be
I will reveal a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We will. We are
so much.
And again, once again, accept our condolences. Okay, a lot of people are saying that right now to you. You may not see them, you may not hear them, but they're actually speaking it in their mind, like that story you shared with us. Okay, and yeah, stay safe, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. So, Mama Layoma, you are back. So I'm going to let you have just about 2 minutes, you know, like we are almost coming to the end, and I've got men who are like kind of
yeah.
So Ma,
please. I'm sure you think I've had to do a lot of work to get back online. But Lara told me.
I know.
So what I was saying, Mr. Mayegun, yes. I know that you know so much, but nobody knows the real dynamics of what is going to happen. That's the first thing I wanted to say. And I'm sure you agree with me, and the members of the parliament also agree with me. Number two, I would like us to forgive these are elders that are misjiving. It is not easy for you to move from being in a life that you have been bullied by the military and you have been schooled to shut up, to understand that the younger generation are no longer shutting up. It's not very easy to understand. There was a lady who sent something from Canada. She's 18 years old. And she was abusing her parents, not her own parents, but she was abusing our generation about how we have spoiled the whole thing. And I sent it to a group of my friends, and all they could see was Omalai Lekolele. And I said, can't you take your eyes away from that and look at what she is saying, so that you as the adults in Nigeria can begin to stand up and stand up? But they didn't see it. So I'm asking everybody here, just forgive them. Forgive Wole Soyinka. He can't see it. He's already almost in his 90s. That's and right. Whoever else is saying all that. But just to cut short and go, I have a feeling that there's going to be a different dynamic, and we're all out watching. And if the dynamic goes in favor of us, the obedience, you will see a different Nigeria, because you will see millions of citizens like myself going into government, local government councillor, councillor, local government chairman, taking care of our local government area, because that is where governance is. It's not at Abuja, it is here. It's in our schools, it's in our hospitals, and it's on our streets, taking care of our youth. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
And you too, Ma. Thank you so much for not leaving us because of all those trouble. I can only imagine the trouble you have to get through behind there to get back. Thank you for all of that. We appreciate you, Ma. Okay. So now let's now go to I call you the Agba Awards, because it's like I'm having superstars on the screen who have a lot that you can have in the next half an hour that will make your night or evening. So how did I share it earlier? Osas